Right now, the phone you laughed at in 2013 is helping keep your heart beating. It's running the car next to you on the highway. It's keeping your country's nuclear weapons stable. It's deciding whether the MRI scanner finds your tumor in time. BlackBerry isn't dead. They just won a different war. And you've been living in their world for 14 years. By the end of this video, you'll never look at your car the same way again. This is the most successful tech failure in history. Here's something you don't know. Right now, BlackBerry's hidden software runs in 275 million cars on the road. That's roughly 1 in every 4 cars on Earth. Ford uses it, Toyota, Tesla, BMW, Mercedes. The Chinese EV companies, half of them too. The lane keeping that just saved your life on the highway, the braking system that stopped you from hitting that kid, the screen showing your music, probably all running on BlackBerry's secret OS called QNX. And cars are just the beginning. QNX runs the MRI scanner at your hospital, the Tomahawk missile your country exports, the submarine sitting under the Arctic Ocean, the pacemaker keeping your grandfather alive. The world built itself around BlackBerry's invisible software, and nobody noticed. But how did a phone company end up owning the most important software you've never heard of? That's where it gets insane. To understand why this matters, you need to know what regular software can't do. Windows lags, iOS lags, even your iPhone lags. You don't notice, but imagine a pacemaker that pauses for half a second, or a car AI at 60 miles per hour that thinks about braking for an extra millisecond. You die. That's the difference between a normal operating system and a real-time operating system. QNX is the world's leading real-time OS. It doesn't lag. Not ever. Not for any reason. Because lag, in QNX's world, isn't an inconvenience. It's a body bag. So how did a phone company end up owning the software that decides whether you live or die? In 2010, BlackBerry was at the top of the world, 85 million users, stock at all-time highs. The President of the United States used a BlackBerry. Then they did something nobody understood. They quietly bought a small Canadian software company for $200 million, a company that made real-time operating systems for nuclear plants. People in tech laughed. Why does a phone company need that? But BlackBerry's CEO saw what others didn't. The iPhone was 3 years old. Android was rising. The keyboard was dying. And he knew, to survive, BlackBerry had to stop being a phone company entirely. So while the world watched BlackBerry's stock crater year after year, layoffs, panic, mockery, BlackBerry was quietly transferring its soul out of the phone into the operating system inside everything else. By 2016, BlackBerry made its last phone. Everyone wrote them off. But behind the scenes, they were already winning a war nobody knew was being fought. By 2020, QNX was in 175 million cars. By 2023, 215 million. Today, 275 million. But the growth doesn't stop at cars. QNX is now in 9 of the top 10 medical device manufacturers, every major nuclear plant operator in North America, the U.S. Navy's submarine fleet, NATO's defense systems, the factory robots building your laptop, the traffic lights in your city. A modern car isn't a vehicle anymore. It's a computer with wheels. And BlackBerry owns the OS inside. You don't see BlackBerry's logo anywhere. That's the point. The most powerful tech companies aren't the loudest. They're the ones you forgot existed, while they quietly became impossible to remove. And in May 2026, something happened that changed everything. NVIDIA, the most valuable chip company on Earth, worth more than the entire German economy, needed something. They had the most powerful AI chips ever made. They wanted them in cars, robots, medical devices. But here's NVIDIA's problem. If ChatGPT lags, you wait 2 seconds. If your car's AI lags at 60 miles per hour, you're dead. NVIDIA needed a real-time OS with safety certifications that automakers already trusted. There was exactly one answer: QNX, owned by BlackBerry. The deal was announced. BlackBerry stock jumped 14% in a single day. The phone company everyone wrote off in 2013 just became the foundation for the next generation of AI machines. And here's the wild part: QNX has a $950 million royalty backlog. That means every car designed today pays BlackBerry money for the next 10 years. The company that died is more valuable now than it ever was as a phone maker. Here's what nobody understood in 2013. The phone was a battle. The OS was the war. You might be holding an iPhone right now, but the car that takes you home, the MRI that finds your tumor, the submarine protecting your country, the factory that built your laptop, the traffic light that just saved your life, they might all be running BlackBerry. You laughed at BlackBerry. You're sitting in one. The lesson is simple. The loudest companies aren't always the most powerful. Some companies don't need you to know they exist. They just need to be everywhere when you finally do. Sleep tight. I'm Daily Dose of Why. Stay curious. Keep asking why.